Humanity's first alien encounter. A Titan-class human warship terrifies the Galactic Council stories. Captain Ethan Clark leaned forward on the bridge, his hands gripping the console lightly. Even after years of space travel, he still felt a quiet thrill whenever he gazed into the deep void. Humanity had always looked to the stars with curiosity, but now they had the tools to reach out and meet them. And the Valiant was the symbol of that new era. Ethan's eyes flicked over the sensors. "Lieutenant Miller, status report," he said. Sarah Miller, the ship's tactical officer, tapped her console rapidly. "Captain, we're entering uncharted space. No known signals, no mapped objects, but I'm picking up something unusual. It's faint, but it's definitely artificial." Ethan straightened. "Artificial? Are you sure?" "I've checked twice," Sarah replied, her voice steady. "It's not a natural phenomenon. It looks like a ship, but it's huge, larger than any human warship we have." Ethan's heart began to beat faster. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for. After decades of research, wars, and technological leaps, humans had finally reached a point where they could encounter another intelligent species in space. And now, it seemed that moment had come. "Show me," Ethan said. The screen in front of him flickered, revealing a massive structure floating silently among the stars. Its shape was strange, unlike anything humans had seen before. It was not a fleet in the traditional sense. There were no familiar designs, no standard formations, only massive blocks and strange shapes that seemed to float together like pieces of a puzzle. Lieutenant Miller's voice dropped slightly. "They're alive in a sense, not like us, but coordinated. Look at their movement patterns, it's almost organic." Ethan frowned. "Could it be a probe fleet?" "Doubtful," Sarah said. "The readings suggest energy levels far beyond any probe we've built. This is an entire armada." The bridge fell silent. Every officer and crew member understood the weight of this moment. For the first time in history, humans were about to meet aliens not through signals or messages, but face to face, in the emptiness of space. And unlike most species in the galaxy, humans were not defenseless. The Valiant carried weapons that could destroy entire fleets, shields that could withstand the mightiest energy blasts, and engines that could outrun almost anything else in the nearby systems. Ethan allowed himself a small smile. "All right. Let's be cautious, but we are not afraid. Prepare for first contact protocols. Open comms." Sarah nodded and tapped the screen. The Valiant's communication system hummed to life. The bridge was filled with a soft, steady tone as the ship reached out with the universal translator, the software designed to decode and understand alien languages. "Attention," Ethan said clearly, his voice steady. "This is Captain Ethan Clark of the human warship Valiant. We come in peace. We are explorers and protectors of humanity." There was a long silence. The alien fleet did not move closer, nor did it retreat. On the screen, their shapes remained almost motionless, as if they were studying the humans. Then a new signal appeared on the comms, translated by the ship's system into a voice that sounded strange but understandable. "You approach our sector," the voice said. It was deep and resonant, almost vibrating through the bridge. "Yet you carry weapons. Why do you come?" Ethan's mind raced. This was the moment of truth. "We come as travelers and observers," he replied carefully. "We seek knowledge and friendship, not war, but we are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary." Sarah leaned closer to the console. "Captain, their energy signature just spiked. They're scanning us, trying to understand us." Ethan nodded. "Let them. Keep shields at full, weapons on standby." The alien ships shifted slightly, moving closer in a slow, cautious pattern. Ethan could feel the tension on the bridge. Every officer knew that a wrong move could turn this encounter into a battle. But there was something different about these aliens. Unlike the many species humans had studied through communications, these ones seemed almost wary. "Lieutenant, run a comparative analysis between our energy output and theirs," Ethan ordered. Sarah's fingers flew across the controls. "Captain, their power is massive. Even the smallest of their ships generates energy comparable to our largest warship, and they are aware. I can't explain it exactly, but it's as if they can sense our intentions, not just our weapons." Ethan's eyebrows rose. Humanity had trained for this moment for decades, but even he had not expected an intelligence that could sense strategy and intent. "Interesting," he muttered. "We might not just be meeting them, we might be testing them." Suddenly, the bridge lights dimmed slightly as an alert flashed on the screen. "Captain, another signal," Sarah said. "It's a message, but this one is more formal. They're calling a council meeting or something similar. They want to speak with us formally." Ethan leaned back in his chair, a mixture of excitement and caution settling over him. "They're organized then. That's good. We prefer diplomacy over fighting." "Agreed," Sarah said, nodding. "But if they realize how strong we are, that could change things." Ethan glanced at the massive human warship, its hull gleaming even under the dim stars. The Valiant had been built to show the galaxy that humans were not weak, that they were a species to be taken seriously. And now, for the first time, it would be seen by another intelligent species. The alien fleet shifted again, slowly forming a line. The bridge crew could feel the weight of their attention, like a giant examining something delicate. Then, a holographic image appeared above the main console. It was the alien admiral, a towering figure with translucent armor and glowing patterns running along its body. Ethan stood and bowed slightly, following the protocol for first contact. "I am Captain Ethan Clark of the human warship Valiant. I extend greetings from humanity." The alien admiral's image rippled as it responded. "Captain Clark, we have monitored your rise. Your technology, your warship, it is remarkable. You are different from what we expected." Sarah whispered, "Different, they mean dangerous." Ethan nodded slightly, keeping his calm demeanor. "We are explorers, not conquerors, but we will defend ourselves if provoked." The alien seemed to pause as if considering this carefully. "Your presence has not gone unnoticed. The Galactic Council will be informed. They will decide your place among the stars." Ethan exhaled slowly. "Understood, we will await the Council's judgment. But let it be clear, humanity will not be underestimated." The alien admiral's image flickered and disappeared. The bridge fell silent again, everyone absorbing what had just happened. They had made contact, but the encounter was far from over. Lieutenant Sarah Miller turned to Ethan, her voice quieter now. "Captain, they were scared, weren't they?" Ethan smiled faintly. "Maybe, or maybe they were cautious. Either way, they now know humans exist and they know we are capable. That alone changes everything." Outside, the stars continued to stretch in infinite patterns. The humans were no longer alone, and the galaxy had just been reminded that a new power had arrived. The Valiant continued its slow approach, engines humming softly, shields glowing faintly under the bridge lights. Every crew member on board felt it, the weight of history being written, not with words but with presence. Humanity had stepped into a wider galaxy, and nothing would ever be the same again. Hours passed in tense observation. Every sensor, every reading, every small motion in the alien fleet was recorded and analyzed. The crew of the Valiant knew that they had made the first move, and now it was the galaxy's turn to respond. In the engineering bay, Commander Alex Harper checked the power systems, ensuring the Valiant could handle any sudden attack. "Everything is stable," he reported over the intercom. "Weapons, shields, engines, all fully operational." Ethan nodded. "Good. Let's hope we won't need them, but it's better to be ready than caught off guard." By the time the human crew settled into their routines, they understood one thing clearly. This encounter was not just about a meeting of species. It was a test of intelligence, of courage, and of humanity's place in the galaxy. And Captain Ethan Clark knew that how they acted in the coming hours could define humanity's reputation for centuries to come. As the first part of this historic encounter unfolded, the stars outside the viewport of the Valiant continued to shine, silent witnesses to the birth of a new era. A moment when humans, small and young among the stars, had made the galaxy stop and take notice. And somewhere deep within the alien fleet, eyes, or whatever they used to see, watched, curious, cautious, and just a little afraid. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never look at them the same way again. The Valiant drifted silently in the void, its massive hull reflecting the faint light of distant stars. The alien fleet remained near but did not attack. They moved carefully, almost cautiously, as if they were trying to understand the humans' intentions. On the bridge, Captain Ethan Clark studied the formations on the screen, his expression calm but focused. Lieutenant Sarah Miller pointed at the display. "Captain, they're splitting into smaller groups. It looks like reconnaissance. They are trying to study our ship in detail." Ethan nodded. "Good, let them. Keep shields active, weapons ready, but do not fire unless I order it." The crew of the Valiant felt a mix of tension and excitement. This was the first time humans had faced another intelligent species in space at such close range. Humanity had learned about the galaxy through signals, messages, and distant observations. Now the humans were seeing it firsthand. Suddenly, the universal translator chimed. The alien fleet had sent another message. Sarah activated it, and the deep, resonant voice filled the bridge. "Humans, your vessel is unlike any we have encountered. Your technology, it is advanced beyond your species' age. How did you come to build such a warship?" Ethan exchanged a glance with Sarah. "We come from a species that has learned quickly," he said. "Our history includes war, innovation, and survival. We have adapted to every challenge. That is how we reached this level." The alien admiral's voice returned, slower this time. "Your presence is concerning. You have power, yet you do not use it for conquest. It is unusual." Sarah whispered, "They're confused, maybe scared." Ethan nodded. "Yes, and that gives us an advantage, but we must remain careful. The moment we show aggression, they could respond in kind. We need patience." As the conversation continued, the alien ships moved slightly closer. Their movements were deliberate, almost like a predator studying a new animal. Ethan could see the careful coordination, the energy signatures that revealed communication faster than any human could perceive. "Captain," Sarah said, pointing at a screen, "they're sending small craft. Look, they are approaching at moderate speed, scanning us. No weapons drawn yet, just observation." Ethan leaned forward. "Keep a detailed log. I want every reading, every energy spike recorded. We may need this later when the Council evaluates our encounter." The small alien crafts glided closer, their hulls sleek and smooth. Sensors showed that their energy output was enormous, but nothing they did could penetrate the Valiant's shields. Ethan watched the readings carefully. Humanity's warships were built not just for attack, but to survive any first encounter. And now, that design would be tested. "Engineering report," Ethan said calmly over the intercom. Commander Alex Harper's voice came back steady. "All systems are stable, Captain. Shields at full capacity, weapons on standby, engines ready for rapid maneuvers if needed." "Good," Ethan said. "Let's show them that humans are not easily intimidated, but also that we are reasonable. Open a channel to the approaching craft." The bridge hummed as the communication system locked onto the nearest alien ship. A holographic image formed above the console. The craft was smaller than the main fleet, but still massive compared to human standards. The alien pilot, a creature with glowing skin and tall, thin limbs, regarded the humans silently. Ethan spoke first. "We do not seek conflict. We are explorers, here to understand the galaxy and share knowledge, but we are capable of defending ourselves." The alien pilot tilted its head slightly, as if considering the words. Then, in a series of clicks and tones translated by the universal translator, it spoke. "You are strong, stronger than expected. Yet your intent is unclear. We will report back to our leaders. Your presence is noted, Sarah whispered to Ethan. They're cautious but respectful in a way. Ethan nodded. Yes, and that respect will grow if we continue to act wisely, keep observation records active. I want to know everything about their ships, their energy output, and their formations. Hours passed. The Valiant and the alien fleet maintained a tense but silent standoff. The humans analyzed the aliens' movements, energy patterns, and communication attempts. Every piece of data was important. Humanity had always survived by learning quickly, adapting faster than opponents expected, and today was no different. Suddenly, a new alert flashed across the bridge. Captain, the alien fleet is rearranging. It looks like a display of strength, Sarah said. Ethan studied the screen. The aliens had moved into a formation that surrounded the Valiant without touching it. Their energy signatures were now fully visible, showing the immense power each ship contained. For the first time, the humans could see the full scale of the alien fleet's potential. They're showing us their strength, Ethan said quietly. Not attacking, just making sure we know they can. Sarah nodded. It's a warning, or maybe a test. They want to see how we react. Ethan tapped the console. Maintain shields, keep weapons ready, but do not fire. Let them see our calmness. They will respect us for that. For hours, the bridge crew watched the silent exchange of power. The aliens did not speak, but their movements and energy readings sent a clear message. They were powerful, and they were evaluating whether humanity could be controlled or ignored. Then, the universal translator picked up a new signal, louder this time. The alien admiral spoke. Humans, you are bold. Your warship is a symbol of strength, yet you are not attacking. Why? Ethan answered carefully. Because we do not seek unnecessary conflict. Strength is for protection and exploration, not for domination. We respect life and we expect the same from others. There was a pause. The admiral's voice returned slowly, almost hesitant. Your words, they are unusual. Most species at your level would use power to conquer. You are different. Sarah whispered, they're surprised, maybe even impressed. Ethan allowed himself a small smile. Yes, and that is humanity's advantage. We are underestimated, and that is how we learn faster, adapt quicker, and survive. The alien fleet remained near the Valiant for the next several hours. They tested sensors, analyzed shields, and sent small bursts of energy toward the human ship. Each time, the Valiant absorbed or redirected the energy without damage, showing the aliens that humans were prepared for anything. Commander Alex Harper reported from engineering. Captain, they've pushed their tests further. Energy bursts are larger, more precise. Shields are holding, but we're learning from each interaction. Weapons are calibrated and ready. Ethan nodded. Excellent. This is exactly what we need. Observe, learn, and prepare. Let them see that humans are capable and intelligent. That will make the Council take notice. As the alien fleet began to withdraw slightly, their movements deliberate, a new realization hit the humans. These aliens were not just evaluating technology. They were evaluating strategy, intelligence, and decision-making. Every choice Ethan made was being observed, analyzed, and recorded. Lieutenant Sarah Miller turned to Ethan. Captain, I think they are learning as much from us as we are from them. They may underestimate our numbers, but they cannot underestimate our tactics. Ethan smiled faintly. Exactly. Humanity has survived because we adapt quickly and think ahead. The Valiant is more than a warship, it's a statement. And today, we are sending that message clearly. The stars outside remained silent witnesses to the encounter. Hours passed, and finally the alien fleet began to retreat, moving toward the edge of the uncharted sector. Ethan allowed himself a deep breath. Humanity had survived the first close contact, had shown restraint, and had made an impression that could not be ignored. Captain, Sarah said, breaking the silence, they are reporting back to the Council. Whatever they say, it's clear humans are not weak. They know that now. Ethan nodded. Yes, and that knowledge will shape the next steps. We've started something today. The galaxy will remember humanity from this moment on. The bridge crew felt a quiet pride. The first encounter was over, but its effects were just beginning. Humanity had entered the larger galaxy not as a curiosity, but as a species capable of strength, intelligence, and resilience. The Valiant had survived the test, and humans had made the first step toward their rightful place among the stars. Hours later in the observation lounge, Ethan stood looking out at the distant stars. The alien fleet was gone for now, but their presence lingered in every report, every sensor reading, and every mind aboard the ship. Humanity had not just survived, they had impressed, intrigued, and warned the galaxy. Sarah joined him quietly. "Do you think they will come back?" Ethan shook his head slowly. "They might, but now they know us. They know we are capable, and that knowledge will make them cautious. For the first time, humans are not invisible in the galaxy, and that is a good thing." As the Valiant drifted through the endless black of space, the crew felt the weight of history. They had witnessed the first steps of a new era, one where humanity would no longer be underestimated, one where humans could stand proud among the stars. And for Captain Ethan Clark, that thought was more thrilling than any weapon, faster than any engine, and brighter than any star outside the viewport. The Valiant glided through the star-strewn void, its massive hull humming softly. The alien fleet had retreated temporarily, but Captain Ethan Clark knew this was only a pause. The first contact had shown them that humans were strong, but the aliens would soon test them further. On the bridge, Ethan stood quietly, eyes on the star charts. "Prepare for any sudden maneuvers," he said calmly. "They are not finished with us yet." Lieutenant Sarah Miller leaned over her console, tapping controls quickly. "Captain, sensors are showing a new formation ahead, smaller ships approaching fast. They are moving in a coordinated strike pattern, but it's hard to tell if they are hostile or testing us." Ethan's jaw tightened slightly. "Let them come. Keep shields at full, weapons ready, but we do not fire first. Humanity does not strike without reason." The crew felt a surge of tension. Every officer understood that this encounter was no longer just observation. It was a test of humanity's strength, strategy, and courage. Every reading on the sensors, every pattern in the alien movement, demanded careful attention. A single mistake could turn the encounter into a battle. "Captain," Sarah said, pointing at the display, "they are closing fast. If they attack, we need to act quickly." Ethan nodded. "I know. Maintain position, but be ready to respond. Observe their strategy carefully. This is an opportunity to learn, not just survive." The smaller alien craft began moving in arcs around the Valiant. Their energy signatures glowed brightly on the sensors, showing immense power and precision. It was clear that the aliens wanted to gauge the humans' defensive capabilities. Commander Alex Harper spoke from engineering. "Captain, shields are stable, weapons systems are fully operational. We can handle a direct strike if necessary. But the readings, these ships are fast and they are testing every weakness." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "Then let's make sure they find none. This is where humans show their true skill, not in brute force but in intelligence and quick thinking." The first probe fired a pulse of energy toward the Valiant. The ship shuddered slightly as the shields absorbed the blast. It was a controlled test, not a full attack. Sensors recorded every fluctuation, every response of the shields and hull. Sarah's voice was steady but alert. "They're probing our defenses, not enough to damage but enough to see our limits." Ethan nodded. "Good. Let them see that humans are capable, but we remain calm, no rash moves." Another wave of probes followed, moving in complex patterns. The bridge crew worked together, tracking each ship, predicting movements, and adjusting the Valiant's shields and defensive systems accordingly. The humans' quick coordination surprised even themselves. "They are learning," Sarah said, her eyes wide. They expect us to react slowly, but we are faster than they think. Ethan smiled faintly. Humans are quick learners, and that is why we survive. The alien fleet paused for a moment, as if observing the humans' responses. Then a single large ship detached from the main group, moving directly toward the Valiant. Its energy output was massive, unlike the smaller probes, and its purpose was clear. It wanted to test the humans' combat ability directly. "Captain, that ship is huge," Sarah said, pointing to the sensors. "Its energy readings are off the charts. If it attacks, even our shields will be challenged." Ethan's gaze was steady. "Then we show them what humanity can do. Bring weapons online. Target their energy nodes, but do not fire unless absolutely necessary. We will not strike first, but we will respond if provoked." The bridge crew tensed. Every officer knew the stakes. This was no longer a simple encounter. The aliens were testing the limits of the Valiant, measuring humanity's strength, strategy, and courage. The massive alien ship moved closer, and the universal translator picked up a new message. The voice was resonant, almost commanding. "Humans, we see your resilience. Your vessel withstands our probes. Are you willing to defend yourselves if threatened?" Ethan replied calmly, his voice steady. "We are capable of defense. We seek no conflict, but we will act to protect our ship and our crew." The alien ship fired its first real energy blast. The shields of the Valiant flared as the blast struck, sending a wave of force through the hull. Sensors recorded every detail: the energy levels, the pulse of the shields, the vibration through the armor. "Shields holding at 98%, Commander Harper reported. "No damage yet, Captain. Energy distribution is stable." Ethan nodded. "Good. Observe their patterns, predict their next moves." The alien ship fired again, a series of precise blasts aimed at the ship's engines. The Valiant's shields flared repeatedly, absorbing the energy. The bridge shook slightly, but the crew remained focused. Every move, every adjustment was a demonstration of human skill. Sarah leaned over the console, analyzing the incoming attacks. "Captain, they are trying to find a weak point. But we are adapting faster than they anticipate. They will have to change tactics." Ethan's eyes were sharp. "Exactly. Humans are unpredictable. That is our advantage. Let them learn that the hard way." The alien ship began circling the Valiant, testing the shields from different angles. Each energy pulse was a question, and each response from the humans was an answer. The bridge felt like a chessboard in 3 dimensions, with each side making careful moves. "Targeting systems are ready," Sarah said. "If you give the order, we can strike back with controlled bursts to show them our strength." Ethan shook his head slightly. "Not yet. Let them understand our intelligence first. Strength is important, but restraint is more powerful. Only respond if absolutely necessary." Hours passed in this tense standoff. The aliens continued their tests, each more precise than the last. But the humans adapted, learning quickly and responding with calm efficiency. Every shield fluctuation, every energy pulse, every sensor reading was used to improve the next reaction. Commander Harper reported quietly from engineering. "Captain, our systems are learning from the encounters. The shields are adjusting in real time and weapons are calibrated for maximum effect if needed. We are ready for anything." Ethan allowed himself a small nod. "That is the point. This is more than survival. It is proof that humans can think, adapt, and act in ways others cannot predict." Suddenly, the massive alien ship fired a concentrated energy beam, aiming for the main hull. The bridge crew tensed, but the shields absorbed the blast with a brilliant flare of light. Every officer felt the force reverberate through the ship. "Shields at 85%, stabilizing," Harper reported. "Hull integrity intact. No critical damage." Ethan's voice was calm, almost serene. "Good. Observe and learn. They expect fear. We give them none." The alien ship hesitated, its energy fluctuations showing uncertainty. For the first time, the humans saw hesitation in the alien tactics. They had tested and probed, but the humans had adapted faster than expected. Sarah whispered, "Captain, they didn't expect that. We are holding our ground." Ethan smiled faintly. "Exactly. Humans survive because we adapt. That is what sets us apart." The massive ship began to withdraw slightly, returning to the main fleet. It was clear the aliens had learned something new. Humans were capable, intelligent, and not to be underestimated. "Captain," Sarah said, relief mixed with excitement in her voice, "they're pulling back. They are cautious now. They've realized we are not weak." Ethan nodded. "Yes, and that caution is respect. Humanity has made its mark. This is how we survive in a galaxy that expects weakness. We show strength, intelligence, and restraint." The bridge crew allowed themselves a small moment of relief, but they knew this was only the beginning. The first real test of combat had been survived, but the galaxy was vast, and humanity's challenges were only growing. Ethan walked to the viewport, looking at the retreating alien fleet. The stars glimmered silently, witnesses to the display of human resilience and intelligence. Sarah joined him. "Do you think they will attack again?" Ethan shook his head slowly. "Perhaps. But now they know that humans are capable. That knowledge will make them cautious, and that caution is a powerful ally." Commander Harper's voice came over the intercom. "Captain, systems are stable, crew morale is high. We are ready for whatever comes next." Ethan nodded. "Good. Humanity has survived the first challenge, adapted under pressure, and shown that we are a species not to be underestimated. Let us continue forward, with eyes open and strength ready." The Valiant moved steadily through the void, its presence alone a declaration to the galaxy. Humanity had survived contact, adapted under direct test, and begun to carve its place among the stars. And for Captain Ethan Clark, that knowledge was more powerful than any weapon, more reliable than any shield, and more important than any map of the stars. For the first time, humanity had not only met the galaxy, they had stood their ground, intelligent, strong, and unafraid. The stars outside the Valiant's viewport glimmered quietly as the massive human warship sailed through the uncharted sector. Captain Ethan Clark stood on the bridge, watching the distant lights of the retreating alien fleet. The encounter had left the crew on edge, but also filled them with pride. Humanity had survived the first real test against an advanced alien species. And now the next challenge awaited the Galactic Council. Lieutenant Sarah Miller turned to Ethan, her expression serious. "Captain, the Council will want to meet us soon. They have probably received reports from the aliens about our encounter. This is going to be intense." Ethan nodded. "Yes, the Council controls much of the galaxy. Most species fear them, but we are not here to beg or submit. We are here to speak as equals. Humanity has a place among the stars, and we must make that clear." The Valiant's communications officer, Ensign Jason Hill, reported from his console. "Captain, we have received a direct message from the Galactic Council. They request an immediate appearance at the Council station near the Luma sector." Ethan's gaze hardened slightly. "Prepare a formal response. We will comply, but make it clear. Humans travel for knowledge and protection, not for conquest, and we will defend ourselves if provoked." Sarah leaned over her console. "Captain, this will not be easy. The Council has always treated humans as a minor species. Some of them may not take us seriously, even with the Valiant's capabilities." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Then it is our responsibility to ensure they understand. Strength is not just in our ships or weapons. Strength is in our confidence, our intelligence, and our unity. The Council will see that today." The journey to the Luma sector was tense. Every officer, every crew member knew that the humans' first impression on the Council could shape the species' reputation for generations. The Valiant moved steadily, its massive engines leaving faint trails in the darkness, a silent announcement that humanity had arrived. When the Valiant approached the Council station, Its immense size became clear. The station floated like a crown of light and metal, massive beyond imagination. Ships from dozens of species moved around it, each carefully adhering to protocols of space traffic and diplomacy. Humans had never seen anything like it. "Captain's sensors show hundreds of ships," Sarah said quietly. "This is overwhelming," Ethan nodded. "Stay calm. Observation first, intimidation second. We do not show fear, but we do not provoke either. Humanity walks its own path, but with wisdom." The Valiant entered the station's communication range. A holographic projection appeared above the main console, showing a council chamber filled with representatives from dozens of species. The aliens were diverse, some small and insect-like, others large and reptilian, some glowing with energy unlike anything humans had seen. They stared at the humans with a mixture of curiosity, caution, and judgment. One of the council leaders, a tall, armored being with golden plating, spoke first. "Humans, your presence here is unexpected. Reports from our scouts describe a warship unlike any other. Explain why your species has reached such power so quickly." Ethan stepped forward, his voice steady and firm. "I am Captain Ethan Clark of the human warship Valiant. Humanity seeks exploration, knowledge, and peace. We do not seek domination. Our technology is the result of centuries of adaptation, struggle, and survival. We are capable of defense, but we do not use our strength to oppress others." The council chamber murmured. Several species whispered among themselves, clearly surprised by the humans' confidence. Another representative, a green-skinned, tentacled being, leaned forward. "Captain Clark, your words are bold, but words alone are not enough. The reports describe your warship's capabilities as unprecedented. Are you prepared to demonstrate restraint under pressure?" Ethan's expression remained calm. "We have already demonstrated that restraint. The alien fleet we encountered tested our defenses, and we responded with observation, intelligence, and patience. We did not strike first, and we will not strike without provocation." The council fell silent for a moment. The humans' words, simple but firm, seemed to impress some members and unsettle others. Sarah glanced at Ethan. "They are not used to this. Most species at our level would beg for protection or attempt to deceive. We are different." Ethan nodded. "That is humanity's strength. We adapt, we learn, and we act wisely, and we speak clearly. That alone earns respect." A smaller council member, hovering slightly above the floor with energy propulsion, spoke next. "Captain, your fleet, your warship, is massive. It dwarfs most council vessels. How did your species achieve this so quickly without being noticed?" Ethan's eyes met the projection directly. "Our development was deliberate and efficient. Humanity learned from its mistakes and built strength to survive. We were underestimated, and that allowed us to grow without interference. Now we are here, and we will not be ignored." Another representative, a reptilian being with sharp eyes, hissed slightly. "Your confidence borders on arrogance, human. Many species would consider that dangerous." Ethan remained calm. "Confidence is not arrogance. It is understanding one's own capabilities and limits. Humans have survived challenges others thought impossible. We respect life and intelligence, and we expect the same from others. That is not arrogance, it is reality." The chamber was quiet. Several council members exchanged glances, clearly debating among themselves. A few of them seemed uneasy, while others looked intrigued. For the first time, humans realized the power of presence, of speaking firmly, and showing restraint backed by undeniable strength. One of the elder council members, a being with crystalline skin and multiple glowing eyes, spoke slowly. "Captain Clark, your species has arrived at the galaxy's attention not through diplomacy or tradition, but through strength, intelligence, and perseverance. We must reconsider humanity's place." Ethan nodded. "We do not ask for special treatment. We ask only to be recognized as capable participants in galactic affairs. Humanity seeks cooperation and mutual respect. That is all. The chamber remained silent for a long moment. Then, another council member, a tall figure wrapped in energy bands, stepped forward. You have impressed some of us, Captain, but others fear what humans might do if provoked. How can we trust a species that rises so quickly? Ethan's voice was calm but firm. Trust is earned, not demanded. Humanity has acted with restraint, observed intelligence, and faced danger without fear. Our actions prove our character, not just our technology. We ask only to be judged fairly, not dismissed or underestimated. The council murmured again. Some members seemed convinced, while others remained skeptical. Sarah whispered to Ethan, "Captain, they are starting to take us seriously. Your words, they matter more than our weapons right now." Ethan nodded. Yes, words backed by action are stronger than any fleet. The Valiant is not just a ship, it is proof of our ability to survive, adapt, and act wisely. That is what the galaxy must see. Hours passed in discussion. The humans answered questions, explained their history, and demonstrated their logic and intelligence. The council listened, debated, and finally, after long deliberation, the elder member with crystalline skin spoke again. Captain Clark, the council acknowledges humanity's presence. Your species has demonstrated intelligence, restraint, and strength. We will consider your place among the galaxy, and future encounters will be treated with caution and respect. Ethan inclined his head. Thank you. Humanity seeks peace and cooperation. That is our only request. The council chamber slowly dissolved the holographic communication. The Valiant's bridge crew exhaled quietly. They had faced the most powerful decision-making body in the galaxy and survived, unshaken and respected. Sarah turned to Ethan, a small smile on her face. Captain, we did it. They respect us, or at least they cannot ignore us. Ethan allowed himself a faint smile. Yes, respect earned through intelligence, calm, and strength. That is humanity's way. Remember this, our actions and our words matter equally. The galaxy is finally beginning to understand that humans are not weak. Commander Alex Harper reported from engineering. Captain, all systems remain stable. Crew morale is high. Sensors show the alien fleet has returned to a safe distance. The galaxy is watching us now, but humanity is ready. Ethan nodded. Good. Humanity has survived first contact, adapted under pressure, and shown that we are capable. This is only the beginning. The Council may decide our place slowly, but the first step is taken, and we will continue forward as humans always have, strong, adaptable, and unafraid. As the Valiant drifted quietly through space, the stars outside the viewport seemed to shine a little brighter. Humanity had not only survived direct tests of strength, but had also faced the judgment of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. And through it all, they had remained calm, intelligent, and confident. Ethan stood at the bridge, looking out at the endless darkness dotted with light. For the first time in human history, the species had been recognized not as weak or insignificant, but as strong, capable, and unafraid. The journey ahead would be long and filled with challenges, but humanity had taken its first real step into the galaxy. Sarah joined him quietly. Captain, do you think they will accept us fully? Ethan shook his head slowly. Acceptance will come in time. For now, they know we exist, and they know we are capable. That knowledge is enough to keep us safe and respected. The rest we earn, as humans always have. The crew of the Valiant felt a quiet pride. They had faced not only alien forces but the judgment of the galaxy's most powerful leaders, and they had stood firm. Humanity's story in the stars had only just begun, but the first chapters were written with courage, intelligence, and strength. And for Captain Ethan Clark, that was more important than any weapon, shield, or fleet. Humanity had earned a place at the table. The galaxy had finally noticed. The Valiant drifted silently through space, its massive hull reflecting the faint glimmer of distant stars. Captain Ethan Clark stood on the bridge, his hands resting lightly on the console, his eyes scanning the endless darkness. Humanity had survived first contact, adapted under pressure from the alien fleet, and earned the attention of the Galactic Council. Yet he knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and humans would need to show that their strength and intelligence were more than temporary. Lieutenant Sarah Miller leaned over her console, her fingers moving quickly as she analyzed incoming readings. Captain's sensors are picking up movements from multiple alien fleets. They are adjusting formations, almost like they are waiting to see what we do next. Some of them, I think they are nervous. Ethan nodded. Good, let them be. They will learn quickly that humans are not weak or predictable. Observation is as important as action. The crew of the Valiant felt a mix of excitement and tension. Every officer understood that humanity was no longer just another species in the galaxy. The Valiant itself was a statement. Humans could build, innovate, and survive in ways that others underestimated. But the next step would require more than observation. It would require demonstration. Captain Commander Alex Harper reported from engineering, all systems are fully operational. Shields, weapons, engines, ready for any situation. The crew is prepared for orders. Ethan's gaze swept over the bridge. Very well. We have shown restraint and intelligence. Now it is time to show that humanity can act decisively if required. Maintain readiness, but no aggression without cause. Our goal is to establish our position in the galaxy firmly, but wisely. The alien fleets began to move in more complex patterns around the Valiant. Unlike before, these formations were not simple tests. They were probes of both strength and intent. The humans could feel the weight of the galaxy's attention. Every decision mattered. Every movement could influence how countless species would see humanity. Lieutenant Sarah Miller pointed at the main screen. Captain, sensors show that one fleet is approaching at high speed. Their energy output is immense. They are clearly assessing whether to strike or retreat. Ethan's jaw tightened. Then let us make them understand. Bring shields to maximum output. Power weapons to standby. Prepare for evasive maneuvers if necessary. But remember, humans are not reckless. We act only with purpose. The approaching alien fleet moved closer, testing the Valiant's defenses with energy bursts. The ship shuddered slightly under each pulse, but the shields held firm. Sensors recorded every fluctuation, providing valuable data on the alien technology. Captain, Sarah said, voice calm but urgent, they are testing our response times and strategy. Every move is calculated. They expect hesitation, but we are faster than they predicted. Ethan allowed himself a small smile. Exactly. Humans survive because we think quickly, adapt, and act decisively. Let them realize that. Hours passed in a tense standoff. The alien fleet fired precise energy blasts, attempting to probe weaknesses. The humans responded by adjusting shields, moving strategically and remaining calm. Each action reinforced a simple message. Humanity was strong, intelligent, and unafraid. Suddenly, a larger alien ship detached from the main fleet and moved directly toward the Valiant. Its energy output dwarfed anything the humans had encountered before. The bridge crew tensed. This was the ultimate test, the moment where humans could either assert themselves or be intimidated. Ethan's voice was steady. Do not fire unless absolutely necessary. Observe, adapt, and respond intelligently. Humanity survives by thinking, not panicking. The massive alien ship fired a concentrated energy beam at the Valiant. The shields flared, absorbing the attack, and sensors analyzed the energy pattern. The humans responded by redirecting excess power to reinforce weaker points in the hull. Each move was precise, calculated, and deliberate. Shields holding at 90%, Commander Harper reported. Hull integrity stable. Weapons ready if needed, Captain. Ethan nodded. Good. They are testing us, but they are learning. Let them see that humans can defend themselves and think strategically under pressure. The alien ship fired again, this time a sequence of rapid bursts designed to confuse and overwhelm the Valiant. But the humans adapted, adjusting shields and thrusters in real time. Sensors analyzed each burst, energy output, and trajectory. Humanity was learning faster than the aliens anticipated. Sarah whispered, "Captain, they did not expect this. We are outpacing them in strategy, not just technology." Ethan allowed himself a faint smile. Yes. Humans are unpredictable in ways others do not expect. That is our strength. Let them learn it now. The massive alien ship slowed and then withdrew slightly, returning to the main fleet. Its energy output fluctuated, showing caution. For the first time, the humans realized that the aliens were not testing for weakness, they were testing respect. "Captain," Sarah said quietly, "they understand something now. They know we are capable." Ethan nodded. "Exactly. Respect is earned, not demanded. The galaxy will remember humans for that." As the alien fleets held their positions, the Universal Translator picked up a new message from the alien admiral. "Humans, your strength and intelligence surpass expectation. You act with caution and wisdom. The Council must reconsider your place. You are remarkable." The bridge crew allowed themselves a quiet moment of pride. Humanity had not only survived a direct test but had impressed the aliens with intelligence, strategy, and restraint. This was not conquest, it was proof that humans belonged among the stars. Ethan's voice was calm but filled with conviction. "We are capable, yes, but we seek cooperation, not domination. Humanity's future lies in understanding and working with others, not in crushing them." The alien admiral's reply was slow, almost hesitant. "Your ways are unusual yet effective. Perhaps humans are to be respected rather than feared. We will report to the Council." Sarah leaned closer to Ethan. "Captain, that is exactly what we needed. Respect. Not fear, but respect. That will shape the galaxy's view of us for generations." Ethan nodded. "Yes. Humanity has always survived by adapting, learning, and acting wisely. That is our way. The galaxy may try to underestimate us, but we will continue to prove our value." The Valiant began its return journey. The alien fleets withdrew, maintaining distance but remaining aware of the humans' movements. Humanity had survived direct tests of strength, intelligence, and diplomacy. The Galactic Council would now have to consider a new reality. Humans were capable, adaptable, and not to be underestimated. "Captain," Sarah said, her voice soft with relief, "the galaxy knows we exist now. They know we are strong. That is a huge step." Ethan allowed himself a small smile. "It is more than a step. It is a declaration. Humanity has arrived among the stars. The Council will recognize us, and the galaxy will think twice before underestimating humans again." Commander Harper spoke from engineering. "Captain, systems are stable. Crew morale is at an all-time high. We are ready for anything the galaxy may send our way next." Ethan turned to the viewport, gazing at the endless black sprinkled with distant lights. "Good. Let them come. We are ready." Humanity does not shy away from challenges, and we do not act recklessly. We are strong, intelligent, and capable, and now the galaxy knows it. Hours passed as the Valiant moved steadily through space. The crew monitored sensors, logged data, and remained alert, but a sense of pride and confidence settled over them. Humanity had proven itself against alien fleets, survived first contact, and earned the respect of the Galactic Council. For the first time, humans were no longer seen as insignificant or weak. Sarah approached Ethan quietly. "Captain, do you think we've changed their view of humans forever?" Ethan nodded slowly. "Yes. For the first time, humanity is recognized as a force. Not a threat to be destroyed, but a species capable of standing among the stars. The galaxy will never see us the same way again." The stars outside the viewport seemed to shine brighter, a silent witness to humanity's first real mark upon the galaxy. The Valiant was not just a ship, It was a symbol of human ingenuity, resilience, and intelligence. The humans aboard it had faced tests of strength, strategy, and diplomacy, and they had succeeded. Ethan turned to the crew, his voice calm but filled with pride. "We have survived, adapted, and proven that humanity belongs among the stars. Remember this moment. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is not to be underestimated, and humanity will continue to rise." The crew nodded, understanding the weight of the moment. Humanity's place in the galaxy had changed forever. The Valiant continued its course, carrying the promise of a new era, one where humans would no longer be overlooked, underestimated, or dismissed. As the ship glided silently through the endless void, Ethan allowed himself one final thought. Humanity had faced the galaxy's tests and had not only survived, had excelled. The Council, the alien fleets, and the stars themselves would remember the humans' arrival. And for Captain Ethan Clark, that knowledge was more powerful than any weapon, more enduring than any shield, and brighter than any star. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never forget it. The Valiant continued through the darkness, a beacon of human strength, intelligence, and courage. The first encounter had ended, but the story of humanity's rise in the galaxy was only beginning. And somewhere in the distance, alien fleets whispered among themselves, cautious, intrigued, and deeply aware. Humans were here. Humans were strong, and humans were unafraid.